The great immortal warrior Klaus has finally met his match, and it gets bloody real quick. If you are not subscribed to my channel, you are missing out on all of the fun, because I can promise you all of my videos are fire and they contain hidden gem stories you would want to know. Hit subscribe and hit the notification because I drop a video every day. Now, let us begin. Klaus and the Crisis in Xmasville begins with 3 kids and their parents heading to their grandma's for her birthday when they had to make a stop in a mysterious town. This town was Xmasville, and it was occupied by Santa Claus. And I mean modern Santa Claus. Everywhere you go, they were there. It was very odd, very creepy. When they got to the gas station, their father went in to buy some stuff for his family, but this place was occupied as well. Thinking nothing of it, he tried to call his mother and let her know they were close. They just stopped at a town. But then something weird happens. The lights go off, and he was collected into the shadows by these Santa Claus. But they were not even done. They still had to collect his wife and his kids. His wife noticed and she tried to make a move, but these guys were a lot. I mean, they were hundreds. Before she even realized it, she was bound and taken, and her kids were taken somewhere separate. She tried to talk to them, she tried to beg them, but they seemed lifeless. They seemed like robots, and we see that all of them were under the control of one man, hiding in the shadows, wielding a massive axe, repeating one word: March. This was the beginning of what will come to be one of the most perilous nights for our boy Klaus, because someone, unironically, the mother of the son who got taken, she shot up a flare given to her by Klaus himself. When she was in trouble, this was the best way to contact him. She thought it wouldn't work, but then he stood in the shadows in her apartment. "Hello, Kate. How are you?" She said, "Wow, you still call me Kate." She was a grandmother now, but you need to remember, Klaus is immortal, undying. She played him the voice note left by her son. She knew something was up. Her intuition could tell. So, this was a problem, and he needed to fix it. He promised that it will be done before setting out. And you know, when Klaus said he would do something, he will do it. Heading to the roof, he met his baby girl Lily, the immortal wolf, and both of them set off to find her missing son and grandchildren, heading straight for Xmasville. But you need to know, Xmasville ain't no normal town. This town was run by a pretty big conglomerate. They go by the name Pola-Cola. If you know, you know. You see, Pola-Cola was not even a normal conglomerate. They were conglomerates that sought to own the rights to Christmas, and they have come into conflict with Klaus before because he embodied Christmas. It was a great war. A lot of lives were lost. It was a full-on battle to own the rights to Christmas, and himself and his father lost. But now he was with his grandson, and unknown to him, his grandfather had struck a deal with the devil. Now, the deal was pretty simple. They find and round up children, and then they offer them to this devil for weapons. Weapons far more advanced than anything they have on Earth, so they could rule the world. This Cola company was on a path to world domination, and the devil was the instrument to achieve this goal. He apparently had a history with the family as well, but more on that later. Right now, it was time to show his grandson his family's legacy, a legacy of childhood endangerment. You could see every kid that has been taken in tubes. Only if they knew their greatest opposition had just arrived. Klaus was in Xmasville. Now, Klaus was very in tune with magic, which is why he could sense that this town was off. Not only was he a fake Christmas all the year round, he could tell dark energies were coming from somewhere. He could feel it. Matter of fact, it felt like he could smell it. But he wasn't the only one that had a good nose. Lily had one as well, and she ran off to check on something while he did his detective work. and he found where that terrible energy was coming from. It was from a bike not of this world, a bike that would make Lobo jealous. This bike was giving off evil energy in waves. He was so distracted by it, the only thing that brought him back to reality is a howl. A howl from his baby girl Lily. And when he turned around to see what just happened, he heard a voice that sounded exactly like his. I like this taste. I line my cloak with wolf fur. Thank you for supplying it. As he looked in terror at himself, or rather a dark reflection of himself, holding the body that seemed very lifeless of the immortal wolf Lily. He smiled, revealing his bloody canines. We love immortal blood. Klaus was so filled with rage, he tried to strike this individual, but he caught it like, bruh, who the hell do you think you're punching? Returning the same punch with double the force. Klaus had met his equal. No, Klaus had met his better. This double thought so little of Klaus, he took him down to see his place of business. He is selling the imagination of the children of Earth to his superiors, a race of individuals that had no imagination themselves. So they were literally feeding on the imagination of children, and when they were done, when the children were lifeless husks, they brought them back and set them free on Earth. This literally broke the heart of Klaus on sight. What are you doing? I have to free them. This is not right. This stranger laughed. What will you do? As his spaceship, as big as the town itself, seemed to come out from the Earth, he said, I am stronger than you. I am faster than you. I am literally you from an alternate universe where everything is dark, where I am on top. You stand no chance. But Klaus was a man made to fight the horrors of the universe. He was never going to give up so easily. He tried to fight back because he remembered what he was fighting for. He was fighting for the children. Having their greatest gift, their imagination, taken from them was something he could not live with. I mean, watching an alien race feed on their imagination was stressful enough. Now he was taking a beating from a counterpart of himself, one with his strengths and his speed, but more brutal and bloodthirsty. How could he possibly prevail? When the double was done, he tossed him out of the ship like trash, and Klaus knew it. He knew this was a battle he would need to give his all, or else there would be no more Christmas in Xmasville.